All right, fellas, welcome back to the New Dad Fitness Podcast. I had a week off last week because I was fucking swamped. Such a busy week last week. It was kind of crazy. So I had a week off last week, which is fine, right? You got to have it. As you guys know, you're all dads trying to do things, and I'm running a business and trying to have a family and all that sort of shit. And I was just like, fuck it. You know what? These guys might not die. You probably did. But you're back here now and you're listening anyway. It's all fine, right? So let's get into it, guys. All right. So if you've ever been in far out. We're already starting off on a good one, right? If you've been in a gym a while and your numbers haven't moved in months, or your dumbbells are starting to look more like paperweights than weapons, then this one is for you, because here's the truth. Most blokes don't think that they're training, they think that they're training hard, but they're not. And you're a busy dad like me, and mate, your time is limited, right? So if you're in the gym 3, maybe 4 hours a week, you can't afford to coast. Every single rep has to matter, right? So today, I'm going to break down 6 ways to instantly make your training harder, more effective, and still sustainable without trashing your recovery or feeling like you've been run over by a truck the next day. So grab a coffee, chuck the kids in front of Bluey, and let's get into it. Or if you're driving and you're listening to this right now, just embrace it. Embrace the voice that is Trent Baines. I'm so sorry. All right, let's get into number 1. So an RIR reality check, or reps and reserve reality check, right? So first one, and honestly the biggest one, is learning what true effort feels like. So RIR, or reps and reserve, simply how many reps do you have left in the tank? We've talked about this one heaps, so we're not going to go into super depth on this, but we will cover it a little bit, right? So most people think that they're training at like a 1 RIR, which means 1 rep shy of failure. Truth is, they're probably still at like a 3 or a 4, right? So if you can rack the weight, scroll Instagram, and still be chatting to your mate about the footy, then you weren't even fucking close, right? Here's a simple way to know. When you're genuinely within 2 to 3 reps of failure, your rep speed slows down. The bar path might wobble a little bit, and your face starts doing those weird expressions that you didn't think that were like physically able to happen, right? That's how you'd know. If your set looks identical from first rep to last rep, then you are absolutely not pushing, and the body won't adapt unless you give it a goddamn good reason to, right? So this week, on your last set of your main lift, actually take it to failure, safely, obviously, right? See what that feels like. Then you'll finally understand where your real RIR is meant to be, where your real like 2 to 3 RIR is meant to be, right? Now let's go into number 2, which we've sort of spoken about a little bit as well, which is the lengthened biased wins, right? So basically picking the exercises that load the muscle hardest where it's stretched the furthest, right? So we'll go into a quick little science lesson, right? Every muscle has 2 main positions that it can be trained in. The shortened position, when the muscle is fully contracted. So think of like flexing your bicep at the top of a curl, or squeezing your chest hard at the top of a cable fly, right? You're in here and you're like, big squeeze. You've got to make sure that you act like a bit of a snake, or else it's not gonna, it's not gonna be sufficient, right? And then the second position is the lengthened position, where the muscle is stretched under load. Think the bottom of a squat, or a stretch at the bottom of a dumbbell press, or the bottom of the deadlift, right? Now, and I've just said 3 bottom of movements. Think of like a lat pull down, where your arms are completely stretched up above your head, right? So that's at the top of a movement, right? For like a lat pull down, yeah? Now, both positions build muscle, but research shows that muscles grow best when you challenge them hardest at the stretched position. More tension, more damage, more stimulus equals more muscle growth, right? Why? Because the science is obviously super fucking clear. Muscles grow more when they're challenged in that lengthened position. So think incline dumbbell press over flat, Romanian deadlifts over hip thrusts, and deep hack squats over quarter squats, right? That's going to be very contentious that I just said Romanian deadlift over hip thrust. Let's break it down with some exercises, right? So we'll start off with the chest, all right? A shortened position for the chest is a cable fly at the front position, right? A lengthened position for the chest is an incline dumbbell press stretched at the bottom, yeah? And then we go into the back. So a shortened position would be a straight arm pull down, squeezing the lats at the bottom. And a lengthened position would be a pull-ups or lat pull downs, filling the stretch, full stretch at the top, right? Into the quads. Shortened position is the leg extension at the top, so the big squeeze at the top. And then the lengthened position is a hack squat or a walking lunge loading into that deep knee bend, right? Hamstrings, shortened is the hamstring curl at the top of the squeeze. Lengthened is a Romanian deadlift. That's loaded hamstring stretch is brutal, but it's fucking magic. Then we go into a bicep. So the shortened is a high cable curl, arm up, squeeze at the top. All right. Lengthened is a dumbbell incline curl where your arms are behind your body, big stretch, right? The idea isn't to throw away shortened position work. You still want it, right? But if you're limited on time, go for the exercises that load the stretch first. Now, that doesn't mean we toss all the short range pump, like toss out all of the short range pump work, right? Cable flies, leg extensions, lateral raises, they're still fucking amazing, right? Lateral raises are the GOAT. But if you're limited on time, bias towards movements that challenge you in the stretch position, right? So here's how you'll put this into practice. For each muscle group, pick one lengthened bias lift as your main workout. Put it in your first workout while you're fresh. Put it in first in the workout, right? While you're fresh. Add a shorter range work second. So if you've got the time, right? So example, chest day for a dad, 45 minutes. Incline dumbbell press, lengthened bias, right? Flat barbell press or dips is your secondary movement, right? And then we've got a cable fly or pec deck, which is the shortened section that we're training in, right? You've covered all your bases, but the heavy hitter, the lengthened work that came first. So here's the dad analogy. It's like going and doing like a big family grocery shop at Coles versus like 10 random trips for one item, right? Get the big bang for your buck, lift in first, then sprinkle in the smaller ones for flavor. Number 3, set quality over set quantity, right? So third, and this one is a fucking huge one, right? So stop chasing more sets and start chasing better sets, right? Stop chasing more sets, start chasing better ones. Most guys get into the trap of, oh, you'll just do more volume. If your last 3 sets were half-assed, adding a 4th set doesn't suddenly make them more effective. It just eats time and recovery, right? So focus on consistency. Same setup, same tempo, controlled negatives, explosive but tidy concentrics. If you make every set look like a carbon copy, suddenly you don't need 10 of them, right? 2 or 3 laser-focused sets will smoke you harder than 6 sloppy ones. Sloppy. And here's the kicker. You'll actually recover better, right? Which is fucking so important for a dad who's like juggling work, kids, 3 hours of sleep, right? It's fucking gold stuff, golden stuff, right? Number 4 is progression ladders. So this is how you push progression without blowing up recovery, right? Instead of thinking, I'll just slap 5 kilos on the bar every week, which works for about 2 weeks using rep ranges, right? Let's say you've got a set of dumbbell presses programmed for 8 to 10 reps. Week 1, you get 8. Week 2, you get 9. Week 10, you get 3. Now you've hit the top end of the ladder. And wait to go back to 8, like add weight to go back to 8 and start climbing again, right? I don't really sort of got that a little bit kerfuffled, but once you hit the top end of that ladder, right, add a little bit more weight to bring you back down to the lower end rep range that you've set, right? If you've only got 30 to 40 minutes to train, this system guarantees progression without having to consistently guess. It's like a leveling up in a video game, right? Don't try to skip straight to the boss fight. You'll get fucked up, right? Stack small wins and let the numbers build, yeah? And this, I'll explain why it works so well for dads, right? This system is gold for busy dads because it accounts for the fact that you won't always be firing on all cylinders. Maybe you got a crap sleep because the baby was teething, or if you're like me, you just fucking likes to wake up all the time, right? Or maybe you worked late. Cool. That week, you still hit the bottom of the rep range, 8 reps, you've done your job. Then the next week, when life possibly chills out, you can push to 9 or 10 reps. It's flexible, but it's still progressive. And unlike random training where you just wing it and the ladders definitely give you like a clear target, right? Climb the range, earn the weight increase, repeat, no guesswork. Now we'll talk about some variations of the ladder. So there are heaps of ways to tweak this system, right? To make it a little bit easier for you and to make it, work really well in your whole program, right? We call this the double progression. So climbing reps and sets before bumping load. So for an example, 3 times 8, we can always bring that up to 3 times 10 and then add weight, right? So come back in following week, added weight, easy peasy. And then we start back at 8, yeah? The rep drop back. If you overshoot, right? Say you can only get 6 reps at the new weight, no stress, right? Stick with it until it climbs back up into the range, right? Doesn't matter if you hit 6 reps, you're still gonna fucking grow, right? Micro loading. Instead of jumping 2.5 kilo jumps, add 1 kilo or even like a 0.5 kilo plate, right? This is key for like dumbbell presses and curls where jumps in like 2.5 kilos are fucking massive, right? And for accessories like lateral raises or curls where strength jumps are tiny, use ladders of like 10 to 15 reps instead of 8 to 10. More reps to climb means more runway before you need heavier weight, right? Now we're going to number 5, which is the recovery guardrails, right? Here's the rule. If you want to train harder, you've got to recover hard as well. Simple as that, right? These are the pillars that I give to my clients, right? Minimum 7 hours sleep, non-negotiable, right? Non-negotiable. You need to fucking smash that. If it doesn't happen, then you need to come into your workout with the knowledge that it might not be optimal, right? Protein, all right? Needs to be 30 to 40 grams in every single meal, period, right? On heavy leg days, try to keep your steps at a relatively like lower ceiling, right? So if you're shooting for like 12K steps a day, right? Maybe bump that down like 10 or like 8, right? Don't do 20K steps and wonder why you can't walk for fucking 3 days, yeah? If you ignore these guardrails, you'll hit the dreaded dad crash. You'll be sore, you'll be tired, you'll be cranky, you'll be eating the kids' leftover chicken nuggets just to cope, right? Respect the recovery side, and suddenly harder training feels good, not destructive. And now the final one is number 6, which is dad-friendly time savers, right? We're not uni students with 2-hour gym windows. Right? You've probably got 45 minutes tops before the kids go fucking feral, right? So utilize things like supersets, pair a push with a pull, do a top set and a back off, warm up smarter, not longer, and keep your workouts dense. For example, a Smith machine incline press. Top sets, 6 to 8 reps, right? Back off set, 10 to 12. Pump a shitload of blood in there, yeah? See what happens. Superset, lateral raises with push-ups. That way you're not taking up any extra equipment inside of the gym too, all right? Bang out some rope tricep push downs while the kids are doing some homework next to the cable stack, right? So you fucking, you can try and fucking do some push downs with like probably not even like rope push downs, right? You probably get someone to hold on to some like a towel or something and do some like prison push downs or whatever, right? Right, the kids are doing homework next to the cable stack. Kids aren't coming with you to the gym unless you've got a gym at home like me, right? Suddenly you've done an hour and still making incredible progress. And that's the advantage, right, for dads, efficient lifting. So let's do this little hack of the week, right? Hack of the week, quick one. Timer discipline, right? Rest periods are where most of you lose time, right? 2 to 3 minutes for big lifts, 90 seconds for accessories, that's it. Set a timer over your phone, don't guess it, right? Trust me. You'll cut your sessions in half or like by 15 minutes by just not fucking around in between sets, yeah? Make sure that you're on point with that. If you need to utilize something like a workout app that has a timer involved in it, then just do that. It's easy peasy, yeah? So there you go. 6 ways to train harder without wrecking your recovery. Let's do a quick little wrap up, right? Quick little recap. Learn what true effort feels like, right? Number 1, pick the stretch focused lifts over the contracted, not the non-stretch, the shortened lifts, right? Quality over quantity. Use rep ladders to progress. Respect your recovery guardrails, right? And utilize fucking time savers, right? So much better. So you just do 2 of these a week, your training will instantly feel sharper and you'll see results faster. Now, I want you to screenshot your best set this week. Whatever you're proud of, and fucking send it to me on Instagram, right? At Trent Baines. Or you can go and like the new Instagram, which is at Trent Baines PT. I want to see all you guys putting in some serious work, yeah? Send me a screenshot, fucking flick it over to me. I want to see what you've achieved, or even like a video. If you've got a great video of a personal best, you smashed it, or you're feeling leaner or something like that, send it to me. I want to fucking see it. It'll be great. It'll be great, all right? Alrighty, legends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go fucking train hard, recover smart, and I'll fucking catch you on the next week of the New Dad Fitness podcast. Make sure you go and like things like, whoops, that's a remote. That's probably dead now. Make sure you go and follow if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. I also stream on Twitch. And if you want to go and follow the Instagram page, Trent Baines PT, or just standard Trent Baines, right? We are working on potentially having some shadow banning issues on the Trent Baines one. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, if you want to follow both, go and follow both. If not, I shall see you guys next week. All right. Have a fantastic week. Speak to you later.